nothing on the table. Nice into 15. Oh, and very late.
libera. Bob in pista, Bob in track. Vediamo ora il nostro apripista entrare in curva strie. Dalla Versi entra in sento. Prima curva labirinti. No. Ed è arrivato il primo e unico apripista.
Welcome back to fabulous Cortina d'Ampezzo in the Italian Dolomites at the venue for the 2026 Winter Olympic Games. The World Cup racing weekend here comes to a conclusion with the final run of the four-man competition, the blue ribboned event. Welcome back, everybody. Martin Haven and John Morgan ready to watch the action here in a track that, or in a town that first held the Olympic Games 70 years ago. And John, this track may not be as gnarly as the old track, but boy, it's not a ride in the park, is it?
There's no sled coming right down the middle of the track like you see in many tracks. And here, it's every other curve is a replay. We've had one crash, but here's Team Amor, the Germans. Well, they went 1, 2, 3 in the two-man, and looks like they could do that again today. A couple other challenges. The Koreans could challenge him for that bronze medal, but Francisco Friedrich never finished worse than first or second last season. Pretty much what he's done in his career. And Francisco, yes, he was second yesterday. A mistake like that one right there has relegated him into the silver medal position. And, well, Johannes Lochner won the gold medal yesterday, and the Berchtesgaden native, well, great start time, great drive down the track. He made the track look tame compared to what everybody else did. He's the leader, Martin. He's looking to go gold for the first two races of the year.
Yes, he is. 50th World Cup medal of his career yesterday. Francesco Friedrich passed that mark a while ago. 1800s back, Adam Amor 10th behind him. And you mentioned Kim Jin-soo. He is definitely angling for a medal here. Now, as far as we can tell, Korea have not had a World Cup podium in four-man. Yoon Jong-won took Olympic silver in the four-man in Pyeongchang, but did not get onto the podium in four-man. Two-man, yes. Four-man, not as far as we can tell. So that could be a red letter day. Now, the top 20 of our 31 sleds go through. So it is Romania's Mihai Tentea who will go first. But that man in the black, Johannes Lochner, he will go last and defend his lead. Air temperature dropping already. Look, it was plus something. It's now -1 and a bit. And the track temperature's dropped about 1.5 degrees as well, down to -5 and 5.6. It'll be -6, -7 by the end of the race. So the track, the ice will stay hard and fast and glassy and tricky. And that's what's going to make this, I hope, I believe, a great Olympic track, is that it is really difficult to piece together. 16 corners means 16 opportunities to make a mess of it. And a lot of these drivers have been pointing that out quite conclusively. So there's your start list. We go from Mihai Tentea through to the German top 3. Are we going to get some prizes? Yes, we are. We've got a few ties to deal with on the way as well. So lots going on in this second and final heat. Opening race of the IBSF four-man bobsleigh World Cup in Cortina d'Ampezzo. Mihai Tentea, and behind him Constantin Dinescu, Mihai Pacianu and Andrei Nica. This is the sled for Romania. Their second driver, Andrei Turea, in his second season of driving, didn't get through. But Tentea, well, they started 22nd fastest, John Morgan, a 4.94. They need to find a little more if they can.
Yeah, and his big problem was here in this curve right here, coming up, where he hit the roof as hard as anybody. And you can't do that. And he just lost all of his times right there. Much better this time. Still got a little skid there, but everybody does that. But in the first heat, he hit the roof hard.
Well, down through the labyrinth into Belvedere and Bandion, the left-right combo. Little run down through K2, this new downhill corkscrew onto the straight into Antelau and Cristallo. This long 270-degree right-hander fires you through the chicane and into the bottom corners, Tofano, and the second left, Ampezzo, climbing steep uphill through Ampezzo and steeper still up to the finish line right there, 55.63, 2/10 quicker than their first run.
That's related to not hitting the lip up there in the curve 4.
Yep.
But Martin, just to listen to you talk about the names of the curves, Belvedere, Bandion, Antelo, Cristallo, the history of this track. It's just, boy, if you're a sliding sports fan, this
names
is
I
heaven.
thought I would never say again. And I'm so pleased that we can.
There's so many tracks we go to, the new tracks, they were just all numbered curves. Well, our buddy Tenteo here had a much better descent down the track this time. Last time he won the award for hitting the lip the hardest in curve 4. This time he avoids that and posts a pretty good time.
I was talking to Matt Weston, the skeleton winner, after his race about the corner names. He said, nobody has any clue where corner 4 is in St. Moritz. You just know the names. And they're trying to educate themselves about the names here as well. Dave Wesseling for the Netherlands made the cut in the 2-man and again now in the 4-man. Jelen Francic with older brother Janko behind and Tim Acosta on the back handles. On the right of the back, Ivo de Bruin, their former driver for the Netherlands. He's part of their coaching staff now.
484 start, pretty decent, top 10. This guy, you know, I haven't been to a race in a number of years other than the World Championships last year, but this Dutch team, remember Edwin van Kalker back there about 15 years ago? The Dutch had great start times, had some good results.
Edwin and his brothers raced here on the old track as well. So none of our current drivers raced on the old track. Loads of our coaches probably still bear the scars.
This is a very clean run.
Yep.
Wrong side of the straightaway there. That's why you had to hit on the exit of that K2.
Losing a little bit of speed to Mihai Tentea, wriggling down the straight.
He beat him at the start. He beat him by 1200s at the start. He's got him by 3700s now. That's about, we say, if you win by 12 at the start, you should be 36 at the bottom. And here he is, 31. So Tentea, the Romanian, outdrove him, but the Dutch with the better start take the lead. That was a much cleaner run there, too.
It was a much cleaner run
for both sleds.
Well, because they've had one trip down to feel how the ice reacts to the runner choice, whereas in the first couple of corners in the first run, you're just guessing. You know, and particularly when you're one of the lesser experienced drivers, and Dave Wesseling definitely is still on that learning cycle, You know, you've got to feel where the grip is with the runners.
Look at these pictures. Boy, he tapped really early coming out of that curve, you know, compared to about 20 feet down is where everybody's been hitting.
Well, there is Dave, yelling in the back there. 6'7" of him. How you get into a sled, Lord only knows. Next up for the USA, Frank Del Duca, Josh Williamson, Boo Niederhofer, and Hakeem Abdul-Sabur. And this was a run that Frank Del Duca will have to watch back, but won't want to. It was one of those early training runs where you get everything wrong that hopefully don't reappear. Let's see if he can tidy up his act.
Abdul-Sabur in the back, he's replacing Charlie Volker, who got hurt or crashed in the first week of training. 4:89. Boy, there's a lot of better start time for that team than that right there, but I think Frank hit everything in sight in the first run. There's some good exits right there, but he's still behind. That's related to the start.
400's back, 700's back.
Best
He's
speed,
turning that around.
Best speed. So let's see if he can keep it clean. Whoa, that's a little bit better, not much. He's 800s down and continuing to lose time. Third best speed, that's not a good indicator there. And he is, I don't know, second best time, but I don't think he's going to overtake the Dutch.
Nope.
It's going to be a very, very disappointing for the Team Del Duca in their first appearance in their brand new sled.
Nice, boys.
So Dutch with the lead. Yeah, not much to smile about in the coach's box.
Start time. Look at their start.
Yeah, start wasn't great, and the drive wasn't great. There was a couple of still fairly time-sapping errors. He could just have overhauled Dave Vesselink.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Well, super slow-mo. You can see some helmets back there, that number 3 or 4 guy.
See, that was
Look
the
at the
entrance.
skidding again. He did it again.
That was the entrance to K2, and he was on far too late. He had all the steering cranked on as he came through the corner.
He was only 600s down at that point and went out to really 8, 10, 12 at the next couple clocks.
Yeah. So offers his congratulations to the boys, but all this video will be learning for the future. Next up, Jacobs Kalender for Latvia. Edgars Ungers at 2, Mats Meknis at 3, Marius Klaver at 4. So bags of experience. There's the comfort inside the sled. Note the lack of seats, seat belts, or any padding. These are built for speed. So are these guys, by the way. No spare padding on any of them. In, down.
Great start. 480. Spectacular start. 482 in the first run. 477 we saw in the first heat.
Yeah, so
for the fastest start time of anybody.
300s off the start record. That is a fast starting crew.
That wasn't a bad exit there of that curve 4. You know, Shauna Roebuck of the U.S. team calls that dream snatcher curve, meaning your dreams get snatched away when you hit the lip and you come out skidding.
Whoa! Again, wild through Lino K2. Whoa! Hang on, Antelau and Cristallo are no picnic, never were, still aren't.
Some bang in there, but he's still hanging in there for at least a couple up and downs there on the exit.
Yep, very easy to do if you go into Tofano wrong.
Uphill section right here.
Third, 1900s back, just behind Frank Del Duca by 100th. So the Dutch move up 2. They've taken a couple of scalps.
So we've seen 3 sleds come down.
Yep.
They look like they're a little bit more control, but compared to the first run, I'm looking now, I'm seeing the teams have more confidence coming down the track.
Yeah. Well, they've got a feel for it. You know, training was, air temperature was probably 8 to 10 degrees warmer. The track was probably 3 to 4 degrees warmer. What difference does it make, Martin? It's ice? No, it's the difference between ice and marble. And that's what they started off on today.
Yeah, so they're definitely coming down the track faster than the other end. There's that double take of the exit of that. Is that, what's that, Antelo? No.
That was higher up, though, so I think Bandion. No, that was
Belvedere Bandion.
Yeah. Okay, now then, let's get to Sung Kai Chi of China with Chang Jin, Xia Long, and An Tai on the sled. These guys, 5th fastest start in the competition of 4.80, tumbled down to 16th by the end of the run. Not the cleanest run.
Well, the great start time, though. I think I said it in the first heat, Mark. You know, when we first saw the Chinese come out and Chang Olympics was their first, and then, of course, in Beijing. I just didn't, when I saw the Chinese around the track, they just didn't look comfortable. When I arrived at the track this week, I looked around, the Chinese did look comfortable on top of the track.
And they got some great experience coaching them.
Janens Minnens.
They brought in Damals as their performance coach yesterday, last season. And boy, does he know a thing about pushing a sled.
Janens Minnens said you have to understand the Chinese culture.
Yeah.
And he says, I understand the culture because I was born in the USSR.
Yeah.
That was pretty interesting, the way he described, you know, and Janens Minnens is a great coach.
Lead is creeping down, 1600s up at the start, down to 1200s. It should be enough to defeat the Dutch. Is it? Just 700ths of a second left.
Well, they beat the Dutch.
They beat them at the start.
Yeah.
That was not as quick as Dave Wesselink's drive.
Beat him at the start by 400ths.
Yeah.
They beat him at the bottom at 7, so the Dutch outdrove him. Look at the transition. Look at the runner tips. Good aerodynamic profile by the team. Now look at the skid off the front top runner there. He had to steer quite a bit. Might have got in there late. But Martin, we're seeing a little bit more control on the exit of this curve, K2, that we saw in the first run.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't learned from the first run, you're not learning fast enough. So the Dutch just out of the lead. It's Sun Kai-chi of China who leads with 15 to go. And we get to the first of our dead heats for 14th place. French veteran Roman Heinrich and new boy from Latvia, Renars Grantins. Heinrich goes first. He's got Lionel Lefebvre, the former Monegasque pusher Antoine Rieu, and Dorian Hauteville behind him. And that name on the side of the sled, La Plagne, is the reason these guys are back. Because the 2030 games will be in the French Alps. The sliding will be at their home track, La Plagne.
Martin, we have to go back in a little history here. The 1999 World Bobsled Championships four-man competition. Bruno and Manjon from France won the gold. It was the French only ever gold medal in four-man bobsledding at a World Championships or Olympic Games.
And he was the bronze medalist, tying with Sean Olsen in '98 in Nagano in the four-man. Sean Olsen here coaching as well.
Manjon coaching the French team here. His son was competing in the skeleton competition. A lot of family elements in this sport.
No deep inhaling of breath here on this run. This is another nice, fluid, flowing run.
Good speed here at the bottom,
Heinrich.
but he's not going to have enough track. Going to run out. Now the question is he going to drop 1 or 2 spots? Most likely 2.
Yep. Oh,
1.
Second place. Just sneaks in ahead of the Dutch by a few hundredths of a second.
He did pretty good on the bottom. That best speed out there, I think, on the exit of Cristallo.
So 4:89 the start, nearly a tenth slower than the Chinese, but a nice drive. Roman Heinrich getting his hands back on the sled again, raced Europe Cup last year.
Look at the scrape, the spray off the runners. Let's see how hard he hits here. The front buck and the back buck at the same time. It comes pretty straight. Yeah. That was a very good correction. Everybody's hitting there, but a lot of people are skidding. He didn't skid.
He was looking after baby Noeli this morning while his partner Nadia Pasternak was competing for Switzerland. She's on mum duties this afternoon. Now, here's the man he was tied with, Renars Grantins, 19-year-old Latvian, with a bit of experience behind. Davis Kaufmanis, Lauris Kaufmanis, and Edgars Nemmer. They're not just experienced. This Latvian crew are absolutely rocket sleds. 4:85 first heat, 4:87 second.
Boy, it looks like he went in the wrong side to the take-on. Left, I think he wanted to get to the right. But, you know, he was the first man out. He was the rabbit. He drew number 1. 10 back right now, and that is not a way to negotiate that straightaway. Listen to the sound of these runaway sport utilities. Boom! Bang!
Yeah, again, K2 producing problems for the four-man that we didn't see in any other discipline.
Some Great audio out of the truck. Boy, you don't always hear it like this. 3,400's back. He's going to fall.
Yeah, it really is.
A lot.
And again, lack of experience on any tracks, really. So just
Six places.
Not stitching it together. 55.92. His first run was a 55.59. So
it's okay. He's a rookie.
Yep.
First time. You're probably going to see this guy right through those La Plan France Olympic Games we're talking about. You know, that's what you need, the experience coming out.
Yeah.
And of course, the Latvians, they know how to win at these sliding sports.
Final race before Christmas will be on his home track in Sigulda. I don't expect him to be behind the 8 ball there.
Of course, you'll only be doing 2-man there. Look at the runner spray. We see a lot of that. And then, of course, the front bunk, the back bunk hit, and he still has a skid going. The good teams are able to hit and let it go straight. He's young.
Yeah, he is. On the upward curve. Now, good first run as well from Liechtenstein. Martin Krantz with Lawrence Lenhair behind him, then Tim Kessler and David Schoffen. And Krantz beginning his 3rd year of driving at World Cup level, getting better and better with every trip. Tiny team from Liechtenstein, from one of the smallest nations on the planet, battling against the Chinese, the biggest on the planet.
Well, they got a lot of dollar bills in that country, though.
Yeah, you can't get dollar bills to push a sled, though. You've got to have the athletes. It was always the same problem in Monaco, wasn't it? How many athletes live in Monaco? Not many under the age of 60, that's for sure.
Great to see him out here. They've got a great-looking kit. He's driving pretty well.
Yeah.
You know, doesn't have a great
really
start.
is.
Didn't have a very good start. That's real tough to compete when you have the 29th best start. But he went early in the race.
Yeah. And he's definitely getting a good drive down the track here.
Very safe lines. Very good exit there. A little tap on out of the big pressure curves in the bottom part of the track where they're nearing speeds of 84 to 85 miles an hour. Uphill section here as you finish.
6th place.
Okay.
So behind Sun Kai-chi, but ahead of Mihai Tintea. Now that's a good benchmark. I was going to kind of compare the two of them together. Like Mihai, Martin Krantz not the fastest starter, but he does drive a sled well. And particularly in the 4-man, where you've got a bit more meat behind you to help with that start, that doesn't hurt either.
Exit, a little skid going down. You have to cut your losses. Look at the spray. Now, how hard does he hit to the right here? Both bunks at the same time, and he comes straight. Really good correction there, but gets over on the wrong side of the straightaway here. Look at the way it drops off, comes up. That's a weird section of the track.
Isn't it? Love that. Somebody just threw that in. Instead of having a corner, it corkscrews down the hill. That's a track designer with a good sense of humor, and also how to use the topography and how to kind of replicate the history of this place. Talking about history, Timo Rona and Tim Annan in this sled, both sons of famous sliding fathers. Their coach, Chris Woolley, by the way, just had a hip replacement during the summer. Do you want to know why he had his hip damaged in the first place?
Because he's had to ride sled.
Sliding in Cortina. Yeah, it was this track that ended up causing that. So 494 in the first heat and in the second for Rona and the crew.
Boy, they get through that curve, too, a lot cleaner than they did in the first run. You know, every time down, they're all going to have more experience coming down the Olympic track. After this, they're going to get about 20 more trips on the track before official training opens.
Second best speed. It's a good-looking run.
As you would expect. 1400's back.
Closing the margin. He's going to run out of ice, though, isn't he?
Yeah, his father was a great speed merchant on the bottom part of the tracks. Let's see if Timo can do it. He's coming back, 900s.
He's ahead of Roman Heinrich of France.
Gonna be close.
Does he get to the leaders?
Yes! Perfect. Like his father, knows how to drive a sled at the high-speed part of the track.
Good stuff from Timo Rona. Tied for 17th in the first race of the weekend in the 2-man competition. And just sneaks in front of Sun Kai-chi.
Lot of cutting of the ice there by the runners. Let's watch him hit. Bang, bang. Does he come straight? Yes. Martin, there's a lot better negotiation of the track by everybody here in the second run than the first run.
Definitely. They've really got a feel for today's ice. This is something they've been saying. They've been here for 2 weeks, training every other day, and every time they've come here has been a different track. And that's continued through race weekend. So, 9 sleds into our field of 20. We approach the midway point with Chris Horn, Carsten Vissering, Hunter Powell, who was on the 2-man yesterday, and Caleb Furnell. So Chris Horn, one of the outright fastest pushers in the business. He was the 2-man and 4-man push world champion in Lake Placid a couple of seasons back. There's no question this sled can move.
World Cup debut in 4-man bobsledding. 2-man was yesterday, but he did have one other World Cup in St. Moritz a couple years back.
Yep.
483. Now let's see how he does through the Dream Snatcher here. Does he skid out of here? No. People are starting to figure that out.
Yep. Much tighter than in the first heat for almost everybody. Nice out of Primo Labyrinthi, just a tiny little wriggle down the straight.
He was 6th yesterday at the end of the first run in 2-man, fell to 11th. He hit every roof on the track on that second run, but again, it's a rookie.
Good speed.
Oh! That looked like the 2-man yesterday.
Kind of wild in K2, into Antelau, through to Cristallo, avoids the hammer on the entrance. Still got good speed, still has the lead.
3/10, 4th best speed. Now he's just got to keep the energy going, the speed. A little late there.
This is good from Horn.
This is much better, 55.26. That's a good run for the rookie, Chris Horn. The American camp is happy. They're pretty happy with this morning's result in women's bob. They weren't so happy at the end of the first heat with these 2 brand new Wolfgang Stampfer sleds that they bought. First time the Americans will be driving a non-American sled since the '94 Olympic Games.
Wow.
This winter. Good start, though. 4 great athletes, but still not the 70s that you need from the top teams.
Yeah, 500s off, 82.
Look at the spray. Look at the spray. That's the biggest Robin Hood we've seen so far.
Yep.
And he hits hard there. But does he let it come straight?
Yep.
Boy, look at that. There's a lot more control.
There's a 1/10 of a second gone there, but Chris Horn has the lead at the halfway point. So Chris Horn, Timo Rona, and Sun Kai-chi are the top 3. 10 down, 10 to go in Cortina. So great views all the way around this track, and you don't have to travel very far from the centre of Cortina to get to here. You can walk quite happily from any hotel in town.
I think good views is an understatement. I mean, this place is magical. This is the Disney World of resorts for, mountain climbing and everything they do here. But it's, you go downtown Cortina, you can just feel the history, the legacy. 100 years ago now is when they built a track here in the same vicinity.
Yep. And the old original 1956 start is just a few hundred meters up the hill behind the current start. Current start built where the old start shed was, or the 1980 onwards start shed was, when they actually refrigerated the track. So Chris Horn and the crew in the leader's box. Actually, there's the next sled in front of them is just 100th away. The next sled in front of them is 600s faster, then 800s faster. They're in the middle of a really tough group of sleds. They could be in the leader's box for a little while.
Yeah, I can see them catching the next couple of sleds. I don't see them catching Baumgartner from Italy.
Well, right now, it's a little bit more about who makes fewest mistakes, isn't it?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Just,
really,
if you ever get a chance to come here, folks, you will not be disappointed.
No, summer or winter, this is going to be a beautiful place to come. So 10 down, 10 to go. And at the end of which we will find out who our medalists are from this first World Cup of the season. So we start in Cortina. Next weekend we'll be racing in Innsbruck. Then we have a weekend off as we travel to Lillehammer in Norway. And then the week before Christmas, it will be Sigulda in Latvia, the first half of the season.
Well, Chris Horn and his team went 100 faster. They were 600s faster than Fodor at the start. In the first run, I would suggest the boys here from Switzerland get off at least 100 or two better. So we'll set an 88 or an 87 start here for their goal.
100th of a second in it at the end of the first heat. That's effectively a dead heat, isn't it? Anything within a 10th on this track and you're even Stevens. 490.
They went slower by 100. The Americans went faster by 100.
So he's in the hole as they get to turn 2.
And we'll see how good of a driver this young Swiss athlete is, who's been coming on. There's only 1100s down there, and that's not bad, because they should have been 12 or 1400s at least.
A little skid
12
to the labyrinth.
Looks like he stopped the bleeding here. Now looks like he could eat into that lead with some great lines. He's got the second best speed. That's not going to help. Third best speed now.
Out of Cristallo. Does he get the chicane clean? Yes.
14 the back, though. He's going to be running out of track here.
Chris Horn was very quick up the hill here. That's another mark of a Valner Wolfgang Stanford sled and across the line.
The spot. So the Americans move into their legitimate top 10 now. That's no worse than 9th for them.
Yeah.
For Chris Horn, this is a rookie. That's his World Cup debut. So congratulations to Chris.
Well, Chris Horn's run in the second heat, a 55.26. If he'd done that in the first heat, he would have been 6th, not 11th.
Is that the track getting faster?
No, it's the drivers getting a handle on the conditions, I think.
Well,
because Cedric Follador dropped a spot, but he was quicker than his first heat as well. And actually, he made a couple more errors as well. This is the entry into
Here's the mistake
Antolao.
in the bottom part of the track.
Yeah.
You know, that was worth the 10th. That's probably worth the 10th there, but this young Swiss pilot is coming on.
Yep. Lots of thinking to do for everybody here. Win, lose or draw, you're learning. Taylor Austin, Shaq Murray-Lawrence at 2, who's on the 2-man sled. Then Mark Zanet and Johan Eskrik Parkinson joining them in this 4-man sled.
94 start. They need to do better to challenge the Americans. But at an 83, they can't come out of here with a 10th deficit at the start.
Well, he started 22nd in the field, finished 9th.
He was 100th better.
About the driving.
100th better at the start, unlike the Swiss, who went 100th worse.
The problem is with starting so far back, he can't afford the tiniest error in this run.
He's got to hit a double or a triple. You know, and he doesn't want to. He wants to move up 2 or 3 spots. Right now, he's got the 5th best speed, the 4th place at the time, but we've seen some magic on the bottom part of this track.
Ooh.
That was a pretty good exit there, but he's 2/10 back.
Yeah, the gap's growing.
Yeah.
He's not as quick as Chris Horn. And that gap is growing. He's not going to be in the top 3.
Now the question is he going to fall 2 spots? Could fall 2 spots.
Yeah, because 4th and 5th are only 100
looks like
apart.
2 spots. Yeah.
3rd at the line. No, he brought it back up.
7th at the line. 7th best at the line.
Yeah.
3rd overall. Dropped 2 spots.
Not as quick
Not
as
bad. That's still a good result. That's a top 10, right?
Yep.
You finished no worse than 10th.
Exactly.
That's a good result for him.
Not quite as quick as his first heat.
I think this is his best World Cup finish ever, as I look back
Might
on
well
things.
be.
Good for him. Yeah, his best World Cup finish ever was 14th, so congratulations to the Canadians.
PB at the start.
Personal
Yeah,
best.
yeah.
That's all these athletes are out here. They know some of them they can't win a medal, but they want to achieve their personal best. That was a great exit right there, Martin. That was impressive.
He had to work
Just
hard
wasn't
for it.
fast. Just wasn't fast.
He had to work hard for it. So 3rd fastest, 3rd place rather, with 8 to go. So next up, Italy's Patrick Baumgartner. Now, can he climb the order a little, or is Chris Horn going to overhaul him as well? Eric Fantazzini, Robert Mazzea, and Lorenzo Bilotti didn't have a good first run, Baumgartner.
Well, he started 13th.
Yeah.
482 start. Had a same start as the Americans. He's going to need that. But he's got a 10th in the bank. So should be a 482, 481. Oh, I don't know, maybe 481, maybe. 42, just like they did the first run. Good velocity. The entrance one thing is to have the start time. The other thing is to get in the sled properly. Don't pull it back. They had good sled velocity also.
Bit of a skid in Verzi and high and not comfortably off Primo Labyrinthi. Out of turn 3 of the Labyrinth, down into Belvedere and Bandion.
Bleeding a little bit of time. They had equal starts. If he keeps this at 9, I like his chances.
Not comfortable
8,
on K2.
It's still falling
Hits
away.
Cristallo hard on the take-on.
This is the most experienced Italian driver. Down to 5. Put your seatbelts on. This
Not
is
sure
going to be
he's got
close.
this. Too much height at the bottom in Tofano.
Right to the height. Doesn't do it. Americans are going to get him.
Behind. Yes, they do get him.
You know, was that a bad drive by Baumgartner, or was that a great drive by Chris Horn?
It was both. It was an improved run from Chris Horn, and it was not good from Baumgartner. Too many errors. Kind of okay into the Labyrinth, but then, yeah, K2 was not good. Antelau Cristallo was not good.
This wasn't good.
Yeah, this is after the chicane down into Tofano.
I'll say this. This is the best start time I've ever seen Baumgartner have. So they have something to work with. He double looped that.
Yeah, big
Right
looping height.
Look
there.
how high he gets there. He's above the other runner marks. That's steering. That's where his lead went away. You know, when you have to steer like that at the high-speed part of the track, that's just friction.
All right, so Chris Horn still leads, 7 to go. Mickey Vogt, Dominic Hufschmidt behind him, then Amadou David Ndaye, and Andreas Haas. Andy Haas was on the back of the two-man sled. Mickey Vogt with Sandro Michels, face on his helmet.
86 in the first run, should be equal or better. 88, 200
Now,
slower.
I think we might need to see a start replay because the moment they left the block...
Look how high his helmet is here. It's just like he's uncomfortable.
Well, the moment they left the block, Chris Woolley was going, ah! Something happened at the start. Somebody slipped.
It looks like his helmet is way up. Maybe wrong. It looks like he usually sits down lower than that. Maybe.
Popping up on the straights.
+3 already. 10th best speed.
So Chris Horn watching this from the leader's box. Oh, and he's seeing another position come his way.
He can still find it on the bottom with perfect lines, though. We've seen that on this track.
Not sure he's got the speed on board.
4th best speed, 9.
That's the end of that.
It's going to be at least maybe 2 spots. He could fall behind the Italians, too.
Yeah, could well be. Only 300s first to second.
Yes,
He's down
3
to
spots.
4th behind his teammate Cedric Follador. So what happened at the start? That wasn't all of it. There were driving errors, but something happened
wrong at the start
as well.
I didn't like the way he's sitting up. Listen. What?
Was it Andy Haas on the brakes? Did his feet slip? Mickey Vogt's not happy with himself.
Well, something wrong.
Watch the feet.
Oh, he missed his hands off the push bar. Yeah.
It was all over the place in terms of coordination.
They did not. No,
the sled left almost without Andy Haas joining them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not a cohesive hit. Yeah. Okay.
Do it now,
Yeah.
not in February.
Absolutely.
Get it out of your system.
Absolutely. Now then, Chris Horn leads, 6 to go. I told you he wasn't going to overhaul people. People are going to make mistakes. People are going to make mistakes. So Brad Hall with Alex Cartagena, Leon Greenwood, and Greg Cackett in the sled. 487 their start, only the 15th best. Anything extra will help. 488, same as the Swiss.
Well, I think Chris Horn and his team likes living in that leader box, but I think this is the guy that should knock him out.
Smooth out of Cento.
Boy, he only got a 500th lead.
Clean exit from Labyrinthi. You're right. I mean, he did have time in hand.
Plenty, but it's down to 2.
He had 1900s in hand from the first heat. Oh, K2 not great.
Well, he's back on point.
Yep.
He's back on point. Here he comes.
Got speed, but he's going to need all of it.
Should be okay here. Yeah, 3 to 3.
Taps
3rd
in
best
the
speed. No mistakes allowed. Clean. uphill section should do it.
100th.
200.
There we go. Oh.
Or they held on. Good driving in the bottom because he was bleeding time away at the top.
This is going to age a few coaches, isn't it? I mean, Graham Richardson there.
It's got us on the edge of our seat.
Graham Richardson already has a couple of grey hairs. He'll be like Tom Delahunty by the end of the Olympic cycle, fully white.
Well,
Let everyone home.
Well, here we go. This is out of Primo Labyrinthi, and a
at the
big runner
tips,
check down a straight, and that's all taking speed away. And again, out of K2.
not cutting so much ice here. That's
No.
one of the better exits of the curve we've seen.
Until he gets a bad break with the taps, and then he's skidding all the way down to Antelau.
From that point on, he was good.
Not that day, but top 6.
Yep, top 6, can't argue. Top 6 in 2-man, top 6 in 4-man. So Brad Hall ahead of Chris Horn and Patrick Baumgartner. 5 to go.
Track is clear.
This is a dark horse right here.
Look at the ice still in the sled of Marcus Treichel. It's a few extra grams. You don't want to be humping off the line. Sasha Stepan, Marcus Sammer, and Leo Sares joining the crew at the back.
478 start in the first run. Very impressive.
Starting.
Very impressive. 477 ties the
Ties
best
the start record.
Boy, where did Marcus Treichel get this start team in Austria? This is...
Well, Sasha Stepan and Marcus Sammer are always good behind Benny Meyer, and they moved over to Treichel's crew, and now they've added young Leo Sares in, and that's helped even more with that speed.
Marcus Sammer was pushing sleds 12 years ago. He tried driving a little bit about 13, 14. That didn't work out. He's got to be the oldest guy in the competition, and he's still an athlete.
No fool like
Look
an
at
old
this,
fool.
4
10s up.
This is awesome.
But for years we said if you ever gave Treichel a start, he'd be dangerous. And
But he knows how to drive now.
He is dangerous.
This is impressive for the Austrians.
He could always drive. Started in luge when he was too young for bobsleigh. Across the line. 4/10 up. That is a shout for a medal. That is a really solid shout from
Benny
medal.
Meyer was up there. This is probably all Benny Meyer's equipment. Benny Meyer shocked us that one season. They put too much brakes on here.
Yep.
They have no chance to celebrate what they just accomplished. No matter what, this is one of the most impressive runs of the day.
Yep. Excellent stuff. And that's
I'm sure Marcus's
not
parents
great.
are watching.
Is that Sasha Stepan still in the sled? Or is that Marcus? That's Marcus Sammer. He looks very ginger getting out.
477. Austria. Very impressive.
Yep. Now, again, you could give me a 477 drive and I'll still be more hits than Elvis. He drove that.
He did.
Yeah.
Remember, he started so late in the race.
Yep.
Started 26th.
Yep. 5th best run in the first heat.
This is...
And I think that, if that doesn't win him a medal, then things are not fair. Now, what
Watch
about
these guys.
I know, here we go.
Hey, watch these could be 476.
Let's
These
see.
4 athletes from Korea. 478, okay? They're 100 slower.
Well, that's a 78 and a 77 each for Treichel and for Kim.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
they're level absolutely on starts. This is down to who drives best in this heat. He's got 500s in the bank from the first heat.
And that's what he's got now. It might go down. I don't know.
Oh,
No,
long
6th.
skid.
He finished 4th yesterday in the 2-man with an unbelievable second run. He moved up like 9 places.
Skidded out of the labyrinth. He skids down into
down to
Antelau.
2. Still got the best speed there, according to that speed track.
Can't be much in it. This could be a dead
Right
heat.
to the 100th. He's still got 2.
Uphill. Clean, big whoop, big loop.
Okay.
Here we go. How close is it?
100.
100.
Bobsled racing at its best. Listen to these guys.
Well, definitely heading towards his best ever result. And will it be enough for a medal? Now, they were 1100s out of the medals in the first run.
They came late, too.
Yeah. But boy, That's a good run.
Boy, you talk about being up on the wood.
Yeah.
He brought it all the way up there, but awesome start time, awesome drive under pressure. 4th place yesterday. He's no worse than 4th today.
Yep. Now then, top 3 sleds, all from Germany. Adam Amor, Joshua Tascher, Benedikt Hertel, his 2-man brakeman, and Costa Lawrence. Now, Benny Hertel wasn't on the 2-man sled yesterday. Alexander Schaller, the new brakeman, was.
41 in the first run. 42 this time. So the Koreans just picked up 300s at the start. You know, there's quite a separation here. 500s, or 1100s. I don't see Adam throwing this away.
Well, I don't either. However, this is fairly unknown territory still.
These are good lines.
Down to
great
500.
lines so far.
But the lead from the first heat has been halved. Now, he has got better speed, but that was not good in K2.
Here he goes. Yeah, he's got the 3rd best speed according to that shot. When he hit there, that's going to be costly.
Onto Cristallo. Straight down into
down to
the
3.
lower reaches.
10th best speed. That mistake he made at Cristallo.
It's a medal for Kim.
Watch
They're
out.
level.
It could be.
Kim is in the lead at the line.
Wow.
In the medals. Korea are in the medals for the first time in World Cup history in 4-man.
That mistake at Cristallo.
Do you think they noticed? And this is this track, and this is going to happen in the games, because they'll be better rehearsed, but nobody will be perfect. And mistakes will happen, and it will be up and down like a yo-yo.
He didn't look bad there, Martin. Maybe too much steering. I don't know.
It was so close.
Right here. There's the mistake. Now watch him hit the take-on here on our right-hand side of our screen. Bang! That pushes him down in the middle of the curve. That caused a big steer to get off it.
And you skid into Cristallo, and that is 100 meters of high-speed curve, and you're going in sideways.
Spectacular.
Oh, okay. Korea lead, 2 to go. Francesco Friedrich with Matthias Sommer, Alex Schuller, who won silver with him yesterday, and Felix Straub on the back. They tied the start record, 4:77.
They might go 76 here.
They'll try.
76! They know.
They just live to break records and win races.
This
ain't nothing else.
The greatest of all time, according to results. Francisco Friedrich, we're sliding on the Eugenio Monti sliding center, who was the greatest of all time in the 40, 50 years ago. Can Friedrich do it again?
2,900s up, so he's got a handy lead. Not
that was close.
Not got that figured out. Dropping speed, 3,500s up. But he's got a big lead.
Made a mistake like that in the first run.
He's going to be the leader with 1 to go. But it is not your traditional neat and tidy Friedrich run. It is fast and loose. 55.02. All right.
Well,
1,800s quicker than the Koreans, so even in a dead level start, he would still have been in front. Take nothing away from Kim Jin-soo.
No, that was impressive, but, you know, Friedrich is 3 times last year he finished first. The other 4 times he finished second.
Yep.
World champion. He doesn't like bronze medals. In fact, he's got that attitude. The silver medals is the first loser.
First loser, yeah. He's a Ron Dennis McLaren guy.
Boy, that 2,500th lead that this guy Lochner's got.
Now,
this isn't a victory lap.
Where's Friedrich going? He's going straight to watch the TV monitor because he wants to see what Hansi is doing that he can't do and how he's doing it.
He's already seen the first heat on replay.
He'll say well done to the Koreans later. Now he wants to watch this man drive. Johannes Lochner with Torsten Margis, Friedrich's long-time right-hand man, at 2. Jörn Wenzel at 3. Georg Fleischhauer at 4. This team have more fun than almost anybody else. And right now, They look like they're heading for a second gold of the weekend.
79, just like they had in the first run.
Exactly the same start.
You talk about having fun. This guy in the front seat, he's a joker. But when he gets down and sitting in this sled, he's pretty precise.
1500s up from the first
Only
heat.
700s there.
Don't forget, started 600 slower. Or 300 slower.
Down to 6. Fourth
Only
best
the fourth
speed.
best speed.
Hansi.
Now, if he can get down here clean.
That was a great exit. That might have solidified it, but it's only fourth best speed.
And again, clean onto Cristallo. If he shoots the chicane, and he does.
Yes, he was better there than Friedrich.
Yep.
Friedrich tapped in there.
That's it.
He's going to do it.
From K2 down, he was clean as a whistle, and Friedrich was skidding. It is double goal for Johannes Lochner, 54.98.
Yes, the Germans got first and second, but the Koreans.
Well, there
Awesome.
you go. If you had to put money on who was going to break up the domination, okay, maybe Treichel, maybe Brad Hall, but Kim Jin-soo, that was left field right there. Well, Hansi, again, making this look like it's a track that he knows well. He knows it no better than anybody else.
But, you know, remember the 2018 games, Jan won the silver medal for Korea. I said then, what it's going to do for the sport in Korea, what it's going to do for the sport in Asia. Here we are 8 years later, the Koreans are still in the mix.
He's been saluted from upstairs by Matthias Boehmer from Bavaria, one of his old Berchtesgaden bobsledding buddies.
Yes, it's the Joker's day.
Yeah,
Johannes Lochner. Boy, we've seen some great action out here today, Martin.
Well, aren't you glad you came?
My first call in 5 years. The last one was with you in Altenburg while we saw Francisco Friedrich win. But
Yeah.
this was exciting today. The track.
It's a great track.
Boy.
This is one for the
5
ages.
stars.
It is a great track and a beautiful location and a town full of people who get it. I'm loving being back in Cortina.
Don't we all?
And so is Johannes Lochner. Victory over Francesco Friedrich and a historic first four-man World Cup podium for Kim Jin-soo of Korea. Marcus Treichel, fourth, 100th out of the medals. Adam Moore, 300s out of the medals. What a race we've had. And did we end up with any ties in the... I kind of lost track of that. I think we didn't, but we had lots and lots of dead heats all the way down through the field in the first heat. Breathless stuff to round out the final day of 2 weeks of sliding here in Cortina d'Ampezzo. The first training week and then the first race week of the season.
Martin, it sets the stage for an unbelievable Olympic Games 80 days or so from now.
Well, is he going to break your win the pre-Olympic event, don't win the Olympics jinx?
That's a jinx.
Yeah.
You don't
Do you
want
know
to
what?
win the pre-Olympic event.
This joker, he could do it all. And that is it from Cortina d'Ampezzo. Next Friday, Saturday and Sunday we'll be racing in the new look Innsbruck, another new track to start the season. Until then, on behalf of the entire IBSF TV crew, congratulations and thanks to everybody in the Cortina, in Maiko, the organising committee, for getting this track up and running and making it such a beauty. Thanks to John Morgan for joining us for the four-man. We'll see you next week. Until then, from me and the crew, bye for now.